Arsenault with Jenkins in the backfield. Sets up to throw the football. He's going to take a deep shot. That one's going to be intercepted at the 41. Intercepted by the Blazers, off and running and stepping out of bounds. And a big start defensively for the Blazers. So 2nd and 9 after a gain of just 1. And now Holcomb to the air again. Going to wind up. He's got a man there, one-on-one. Makes the grab. Touchdown. Back of the end zone. And the Blazers, for the 2nd straight week, have scored a touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. Trying to get that running game going here today. 6:15 left in the first half. After a timeout, breaking a tackle and right on cue. Midfield, running, off to the races. 30, 20, and guess who? Wow! Eric Watts exploding through a hole over the left side.
Getting held as he caught that ball.
Gonna swing this one out right here. Double pass. Council Allen, man wide open. That's Wandu, the tight end. He's gonna score. Joel Wandu on the receiving end of a Council Allen touchdown pass. Perhaps the final play right here before the 2-minute timeout. Arsenault gonna take the snap. He's gonna look, gonna fire. He's got a man open. He's gonna kind of lose his footing. Oh, ball fell out. The ball fell out of his hands, and it is being signaled a touchdown. It is being signaled a Blazer touchdown. Dallas Robertson.
All right.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Graham Craig Show. I'm your host, Dave Garner. Thanks for being with us right here on a victorious week in Titletown as the Valdosta State Blazers beat West Alabama 45-35 in the opening game of Gulf South Conference play. Here with Coach Craig. Coach, got the camo hat, man. You guys definitely battled this week all the way to the very end against a very good West Alabama team.
We did. Really good team. And every time they made a big play, we answered with another one in all 3 phases. So really proud of the way our team fought back and won the game.
It was a wild fourth quarter, as you'll see a little bit later on in the show for those folks that may not have been here at Bazemore Hyder Stadium. But you got to be proud again for the 2nd straight week. You guys got off to a fast start. Last week you led 14-0. Things kind of seemed to snowball in the right direction. Same thing here today. Again, you guys get off to a fast start, score the first couple, drives of the ball game. Had to be pleased with that.
Yeah, definitely something we've really talked about and emphasized, and did a much better job the last 2 weeks. Just got to do a better job of continuing that and extending that lead when we can.
Right, opening drive touchdowns again 2 weeks in a row now, and of course a couple more conference games to play. But you guys really, after kind of a slow start, now 4-4, but more importantly 1-0 in the conference. What does it mean for you guys to be 1-0 in the conference and still very much in the thick of the playoff race?
Yeah, it's huge. We've said, once we get to conference play, we're 1 week at a time. So we can enjoy this one and get ready for another really good team coming to town this week.
There you go. We were talking with Marty McGinn, who, of course, does a lot with the ops, and, of course, Kit Street, SID, of course, and everything. And, we were joking around about how, this team has basically come back on everybody the last couple weeks. We saw it last week. West Alabama was down 35-17, I think, at halftime. 38-17, came back and nearly won the game. They tried to pull that off again here today, but you guys showed a lot of resiliency, a lot of heart late in the ball game, make the plays that you had to hang on for that win.
We did. Was really proud of it. I told them at halftime, this is a team that's fought back and almost won against Delta last week after Delta had a big lead. So knew they were going to be able to come back and try to get back in it. Quarterback made some great plays all day long, and every time they made a big play, we answered with one. So I was really proud of the way we did that.
Sure. Once again, Jamison played with a lot of confidence too, offensively. Defensively, we knew that Spencer Arsenault was going to come out and do a lot of different things for West Alabama. What challenges did they present for you guys, and what did you feel like you were going to need to do in order to win this game?
Yeah, obviously him on the scramble yards was something that we knew was going to be a challenge for us coming in, and made some plays when we had to later in the game with some things, but obviously that's something that we got to address. He a lot of, I don't know what the total rushing yards was, but had a lot of yards on scrambles and was able to extend some plays. But we knew coming in he was going to be able to do that, and a really good player.
Sure. Blazers win here today, of course, 45-35. They get some plays late in the ball game to preserve the win. We'll talk about him here coming up. Let's go ahead and take our first time out. When we come back, we will break down the first half with Coach Craig. All that and much more straight ahead. Stay with us.
After the Colonel made his hot and spicy wings, he needed the perfect pairing. So he invented the potato. No need to look that up. It's true. The Colonel lived so we could chicken. Backed by obsessive demand, KFC wings and wedges.
All right, boys and girls, I want you to draw for me what you want to be when you grow up.
I want to be a chef. I want to be a teacher.
The only thing more wonderful than our kids' dreams is when those dreams come true. That's why the Georgia Lottery has raised over $28 billion for education, benefiting over 2 million pre-K students and over 2.1 million Hope Scholars. Because amazing things happen when hope finds a way.
The Houston Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Clinic has been at the forefront of sports medicine since 1949 and has served Valdosta and the surrounding area for the past 40 years. Treating athletic injuries for all of South Georgia, Houston doctors are team physicians for the Lowndes Vikings, Thomas University, Colquitt County Packers, and Valdosta State University. Call for an appointment to see your sports medicine specialist.
Welcome back to the Graham Craig Show. Again, I'm your host, Dave Garner. Thanks for being with us. Coach, as we break down the first half, it was Military and First Responders Day at Bazemore Hyder, and a big ball game there honoring first responders, military personnel. You've got of course, the camo hat on here today. Talk about how special that was to have all the different people in the building that you had. Yeah, they did a great job. I had some different things before the game and at halftime, and really appreciate it for everything that they do for us. And I was able to get everybody in the program one of these hats today for the game. There we go. Of course, homecoming win last week. Blazers carry that over this week, and just a lot of notes, of course, going into this ball game. Coach, essentially the playoffs start for you guys now because, obviously with the conference games, when the super regional rankings were released earlier in the week, you guys were the one team in the conference left off of those. Right. But, again, by winning your conference games, it puts you right back in that conversation. Yeah, that was some of the conversation we had in the tough stretch that we had, and knew that, if we worked to get things headed in the right direction, that when we got to this point, we'd be in a playoff-type atmosphere starting from this game. Right. Let's talk about this first half here again. West Alabama wins the toss. They elect to take the football, and again, their opening drive, you guys turn them over. Josh Brown with an interception right off the bat to kind of get the momentum rolling. Yeah, that was huge for us. That's hadn't started on defense in many games this year, and being able to get that interception there to start us and get us in good field position, it was the start of a really good game for Josh Brown. Right, and then as we talked about before the break, the opening drive for the Blazers, as was the case last week, you guys scored on the opening drive there. This week, same thing. Blazers take the ball and march right down the field. Council Allen, his first touchdown reception of the season, a 35-yarder. PAT makes it 7-0. Again, you had to be pleased with that start. Oh, yeah, it was a great route by him, great throw by Jamison, a little different look than what we were expecting, and made a great throw and catch there to get us started. Right, and a little bit later on, they would score right before, inside 2 minutes of the first quarter, Tyler Smith with the 1-yard touchdown run to make it 7-7. But did you guys come back in that second quarter? And how about Matt Rollator? I mean, coming into the game, 41-yard was his long, but he nails a 47-yard field goal into the wind. And we're sitting there looking at that thing, and the wind absolutely caught that ball and held it up, but it had just enough to get over the crossbar as you guys went back up 10-7 after that. It was a great job by him, great job by our special teams coordinator. We were actually going to punt. They got a penalty, moved it up 5, and ran the field goal team out there, and he hit it as a big kick by him. Right. I guess it was like one of those things that we talked about that with that penalty. It was kind of on the verge of okay, maybe he's got that leg in him. It was right at it, and with the wind, like you talked about, we were on the fence a little bit, and then the 5-yard penalty, we decided to go kick it. Push it over the top right there. Blazers up 10-7. And then a little bit later on in the quarter there again, Blazers get the football back after they're really just kind of stifling the West Alabama offense that, by the way, was ranked inside the top 25 in points per game coming in, almost 36 points a game those guys were scoring. You held them to 7 points in that first half. Yeah, I thought defensively we played really well in the first half, and
gave up some big plays and some yards, but got the stops when we had to with some big plays.
So we're sitting up in the booth and we're talking about, I saw Eric Watts go in the ball game. We were getting ready to set it up, talk about Watts, talk about the running game, and right on cue, he bust one. 80-yard touchdown run a little bit later in that second quarter. 17-7, you guys with the PAT go up 2 scores there. But it just goes without saying that obviously a deep running back room, week in and week out, it might be Eric, it might be, Pascal the freshman, it might be Reddick or whoever, but you guys are getting a lot of production out of that room.
We sure are. Our running back coach, Tyree Devison, has a tough job. It's just subbing those guys during the game. They do a great job of supporting each other, but they were really good defensive front, so struggled a little bit at times to be able to get some movement, but a huge run there by Eric, broke a tackle and outran everybody.
Right, so a passing touchdown in the first half, a rushing touchdown, and then one more passing touchdown. Jamison Holcomb, 2 touchdown passes in that first half. Right before the half, you guys play the clock game. You run it inside 2 minutes right there, and then you get the 3-yard touchdown reception from Zyree Wilson to make it 24-7. Wilson in the end zone also for the first time this season, so 2 receivers getting to taste the end zone there. It had to feel good for those guys.
Oh, yeah, they practiced well this week, both those guys, and Zyree's played really well the last few weeks, so it was good to see him get in the end zone there.
Yeah, a lot of efficient drives, not a lot of empty drives in that first half. I mean, you had to be pleased pretty well for the most part with the way you guys were able to move the football in the first half.
Yeah, was pleased overall. The touchdown right there before the half was really good, and went into half saying we knew they were going to get back in the game, and offense had to come ready to play in the second half.
And also Dearius Nelson back there as well. Ethans puts his foot into it. It's a line drive kick that will sail out of the back of the end zone, and a touchback to start this ball game as we are underway here at Bazemore Hyder Stadium. Story, the big offensive lineman there, the tackle, who stands 6'6", 267. So first down and a long way. Arsenault again trying to dance out of pressure. Nowhere to go downfield. Will slip down right at the 40. Arsenault with Jenkins in the backfield. Sets up to throw the football. He's going to take a deep shot. That one's going to be intercepted at the 41. Intercepted by the Blazers, off and running and stepping out of bounds. And now we'll see Jamison Holcomb, this Blazer offense, go to work for the first time today. Holcomb's going to throw. He's got a man out in the flat across midfield, and Steve Sizza, the defensive coordinator. See if they can make a stop right here. 4th and 1, still driving. That offensive line getting a great push, second effort. A fast start last week. They scored on their opening drive. Trying to do that here today. Another little sidearm delivery from Holcomb to Reddick out of the backfield, and he's got good yardage on first down. He'll have another one down to the 27. So 2nd and 9 after a gain of just 1, and now Holcomb to the air again, going to wind up. He's got a man there, one-on-one, makes the grab, touchdown, back of the end zone. And the Blazers, for the second straight week, have scored a touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. Tigers weren't very effective in the run game, but still nearly came back, pulled that game off. Here's Smith this time corralled as he tried to get to the outside. One of the best in the country on first down defense. They don't give up a lot on first down. A good open field tackle right there. Tied in motion right there. Again, Arsenault going to keep this one on the ground. Once again, between Jenkins and Smith so far, those are the 2 primary ball carriers, the Shadows. This is the earliest the Blazers have played this year. All their other games have started at 4 o'clock at home, and straight ahead, once again, Jenkins to the 30-yard line. The Tigers with lone back. That is Smith. They'll hand it to him straight up the gut and going to be held just out of the end zone. They're going to mark him down at the 1. Here's 2nd and goal. On the ground, Smith again with the drive, will fall over the goal line and into the end zone. Touchdown. Tyler Smith gets the Tigers on the board. Nelson will move a little further out right here. Going to keep it on the ground, but hemmed up and caught behind the line of scrimmage was Braden Jenkins. So let's see what Carmen Felix has dialed up right here again for West Alabama, their second 4th down attempt of the game. Blazers bring pressure. Just going to have to throw this one up and to the ground. It is incomplete. Well played in the back end again with a 4-man front. Holcomb looks to throw, fires in the flat. He's got Council Allen, slips 1 man and works his way up across the 40 to the 42. And On the ground, Corey Reddick going to be wrapped up. And a great second effort. Got pushed forward. Moving right along in a 7-7 ball game. Holcomb looking, has time. Now scrambles, eyes downfield. He's got a man open. And Ilaraza with his first grab of the afternoon, and it's a big one. So here we go, out of the hold of Walter, the punter. Snap is good, the kick, the left foot is on the way, and the wind is going to hold that thing up, but it gets through there. Wow, just enough to get across that crossbar into the wind. You can see the wind kind of keeping that ball held up, but it had just enough leg behind it, and the lefty, Matt Rollator, now 5 of 7 on field goal attempts this year. Trying to get that running game going here today. 6:15 left in the first half. After a timeout, breaking a tackle and right on cue. Midfield, running, off to the races, 30, 20, and guess who? Wow! Eric Watts exploding through a hole over the left side. We talked about 285 yards last week. And this time on the ground. A good little plug there to get a few yards to get out of the shadow of the end zone. So this time again on the ground over the right side, just trying to make something happen right here, trying to spin off tacklers, but won't be able to do so as that Blazer defense comes up with another big stop.
Nelson against Butler, Nelson against Connor, one of our.
I'll throw this one out right here. Good block on the edge, but well played again by the Blazers.
Picked up a couple good first downs, have the Tigers here in this drive.
Blazers again bringing pressure, going to swing this one out, but off the extended fingertips of Jalen York and out of bounds. So here's 3rd down and 3 after the Blazer timeout. And going to go to the air, out of the backfield. Eric Watts wide open. 35-30, makes the move and finally tripped up. You don't want to leave the Tigers with anything.
24 yards on the pass there.
Nice one. Holcomb this time rolling left. Looking under pressure, going to fire. He's got a man complete inside the 10-yard line. Blazers in the red zone this year, 76%, 19 of 25 with 16 touchdowns. And here's Holcomb rolling right, firing. He's got a man open, touchdown. Zaire Wilson, couple yards deep in the end zone, was able to break away from a defender, and Holcomb put it right on the money. They're not in the Super Region rankings released earlier this week, so they need a win the rest of the way. Arsenault just trying to get rid of that ball and threw it away to avoid the pressure and avoid the sack.
Well, here you got to know what to do here so you don't lose yardage and time.
Blazers going to bring pressure, going to dial it up. Arsenault in trouble, trying to scramble out of it, and he's just off and running, and he's not going to reach the sideline, and the clock will continue to roll, so they will have to burn their final timeout. And here is the official call after the review.
After review, the ruling on the field is overturned. The runner fumble was prior to being down, and there was a recovery by Valdosta. 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line for Valdosta.
As it is, they will trail going into the locker room 24-7. And the snap, and again, Holcomb will just hit the knee, and that will do it. So 24-7, the halftime score. Again, the Blazers up, playing a complete football game through the first 2 quarters of play, but this ball game was far from over. Coach, what was your message? I know you talked about it just a second ago, talking about how this team comes back, but what did you tell the guys at halftime to try to rally them for that second half?
Yeah, just to get ready for it and extend the lead. That's something that the last 2 weeks we got to do a better job of. We had a big lead with the ball on offense and wasn't able to get anything out of it there for 2 drives. So got to be able to extend that lead and give our defense a little bit more cushion there.
Right, sounds good. Again, Coach Graham Craig joining us right here. We're going to go ahead and take our time out and come back and break down the second half, a wild second half of this ball game in conference play against West Alabama. Stay with us right here. The Graham Craig Show rolls on in a moment.
Get ready. MediaCom is now
Mobile?
Well, not just mobile, but a 5G mobile network with reliability you can count on.
Really?
Just check out this map. Coast-to-coast coverage, plus hundreds of free extreme hotspots. It's an unbeatable network, and we've got some unbeatable prices, too.
But I love this phone.
Easy. Keep your phone when you switch. And guess what? You'll love it even more. MediaCom Mobile. Learn more today.
SGMC Health is with you every step of the way. growing to better serve you with transformative projects including a new women and infants tower and emergency room, bringing you the best in medical care with our cutting-edge technology, ensuring your family can get the care you need close to home by training the next generation of top doctors right here in South Georgia. Together, we're creating a healthier future for our community. SGMC Health, a proud supporter of the Blazers.
Back here with the Graham Craig Show. Again, I'm your host, Dave Garner. Thanks for being with us. A victorious week for the Blazers, who win 45-35 over West Alabama in the conference opener. And, Coach, coming into this game, the series, you guys have dominated the series. This was the 43rd meeting all time. You guys now lead the series 37-6, but it took every bit of those final 2 quarters to decide the winner in this one.
It did. They did a great job getting back in the game. Quarterback made a lot of plays, and defense got some stops. We struggled a little bit there on offense to start the second half, and they got right back in the game.
You know, we left off in the last segment talking about through halftime 24-7. That was incidentally the score going into the fourth quarter. I mean, third quarter basically exchanging punts, exchanging drives right there. A lot of different things happened, but we'll kind of flash forward into that fourth quarter because I want to say there was like 59 combined points, I think, from, you know, where we started, you know, at the beginning of the half to where we ended in the ball game. And we'll do our best to kind of unpack it here generally, but again, go back, watch the ball game, if you will, on Flow College there. But again, pretty much the way the fourth quarter started out, West Alabama, they already had the football. They were driving. They scored on the first play of the fourth quarter to make it 24-14. But then you guys answer right back about 2 minutes later, 2-yard touchdown run by Corey Reddick to make it 31-14. And you had to be pleased with, after that score, the way that you guys responded so quickly.
Yeah, that was kind of a theme for the fourth quarter for us. That was the first time it happens where they make a big play to get back in the game, and we had Council Allen on that one with a big route over the middle and almost scored, and Corey Reddick finishes it out there. So really pleased with the way the offense responded there.
I'm looking at my timing on my drive charts, and I don't think we went more than 3 minutes at any given time without a score. Either you guys or them were scoring every 3 minutes of that fourth quarter. They would score again to make it 31-21. It was kind of back and forth, a 10-point game. A lot of different things happening throughout the course of this fourth quarter, but then once again, you know, you guys answer. They rattle off a touchdown. They get a field goal, but then you guys get the 36-yard double pass. Talk about that, because at that point they had gotten it to a 3-point ball game. That whole drive, it went quick, but just some really great play calling in there. And then, of course, setting up that double pass from Council Allen, who gets the touchdown pass, to your tight end Wanda, who's really starting to get involved in the offense.
Yeah, was really proud of the way Council responded. Had the tough fumble on the punt return, and then made, you know, a couple huge catches, and then the touchdown pass there to give us another 10-point lead. So was really proud of the way that he responded and the way a couple other guys responded after a play didn't go their way, and coming back and making big plays in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, a couple 50-50 balls that Council was able to win, especially after that punt muff, which was tough, but he was able to overcome that and showed a lot of you know, pushing through adversity. And, of course, the double passes we talked about, and a couple other big catches there. Third down conversions, too, on one of those catches where he kind of took the ball away from the DB there. 38-28 at that point, and then, of course, West Alabama scores again to make it 38-35 with about 4 minutes left. It kind of becomes a timeout game. They're burning their timeouts. They had burned one early on a challenge that would actually come back to kind of haunt them a little bit, because right there at the end on a play that they might have wanted to have challenged, they weren't able to do that. But you guys are up 38-35. You kick the ball back to them with 2 minutes left. Anything could happen, but what are you telling your team at that point when you guys knew you were going to have to put the ball back in the defense's hands to try to go out there and win the game?
Yeah, we were able to get a first down or two to get us got us a good punt down there, to give them some tough field position to start and play right before the 2 minute. You know, knew it could be a run, knew it could be a short pass, and Josh Brown did a great job there with the punch out, and Dallas picked up, scored. It was a great play by Josh, a great game overall by him and Dallas.
We're going to talk to Dallas, of course, a little bit later on the show. We'll ask him, of course, about that play, but a big play certainly right there at the end of the ball game that kind of sealed the deal as you guys win 45-35. A lot of different plays, a lot of crazy officiating. I've never seen so many penalties on extra points, I think, in all of my life. So a lot of quirky plays, of course, in the ball game, but just a back and forth, very emotional fourth quarter. Credit you guys for being able to keep emotions in check and really kind of hold everything together in that fourth quarter when things could have got off the rails.
Yeah, even with the punch out and score there to make it a 10-point game, we didn't cover the kicks as well in the second half as what we need to, and went with a squib kick there. It bounces off their guy, and we get a recovery there to end the game. So a huge play by special teams to keep, because with the way their offense has been playing, with 2 minutes on the clock, you know that with their quarterback, he's got a chance to make some plays there. So a huge play by our special teams to end the game there.
And even with the punch out and the return, you know, with, like you said, I was sitting there thinking, well, with the way this game's gone, it's still not over yet. But then that onside kick, or not onside kick, but then when you got the kickoff back, it was very much a kind of a done deal at that point. So everything kind of fell into place. Blazers get the big win there and had to feel good getting out of here. Another win, back-to-back win, especially after what you guys played last week, carrying that over into this week.
Right, yeah. Just the energy from last week to this week was great. Was really pleased with our effort today, and enjoy this one and get ready for another tough one next week.
Toe meets leather. Underway in the second half, and this one will be fair caught right at the goal line by Pascal. Gotta wonder what he told his team at halftime. And here on the ground, straight ahead, just another power run, but not much there though at all. Little over a minute gone here in this third quarter. Holcomb gonna swing this one out right here. A long way to go, trying to make a man miss. Shoved out of bounds, shy of the marker. That was Jenkins with another carry there. Had a pretty good first half, 70 yards rushing in that first half quietly. And now they'll run tempo right here. Jenkins again is wrapped up and corralled, but not before a 3-yard gain. So 2nd and 10, Colvin the tight end in motion. Going to swing this one out to Smith. Trying to turn the corner and dives across the midfield stripe.
Going to be 1st and 10 inside the 25-yard line.
Going to swing this one out right here. Oh, that time Houston Johnson wrapped up and well played by Rance Connor.
Pressure.
And once again, pressure. Arsenault going to dump this one off, and that one just wide of the target, making sure that Houston Johnson was not going to catch that ball. Their final conference game for West Alabama. They've already played the other two, and their final game here today and needing a win. And the Blazers after a punt with a big run here.
So you're going to have to get a good design here, get somebody open.
See if the Blazers want to take a chunk here. They are just going to keep it on the ground, take the safe play right here. Dancing around and back to the original line of scrimmage. Good snap. Nearly got a hand on that one, but a great punt. This one is, they're going to let this one go. It's going to take a nice little bounce, and it's going to be down at the 1-yard line.
Wow.
Wow. So Spencer Arsenault to work about 5 yards deep in his own end zone. They'll just try to punch it out here to get a little bit of room. And this time, going to keep it on the ground once again, trying to break free there as Braden Jenkins stays on his feet. Good 2nd and 3rd effort.
Another big 3rd down for the Blazers defense.
And not going to get there, I don't believe. No, he needed the 36. The Blazers lead the Tigers in Gulf South Conference play, but West Alabama on the move, a little reverse right here, trying to make something happen, trying to get to the edge. A nice job by Nelson to dance through some tackles, and he will take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Wow, what an explosive run by Dearius Nelson. Put the ball in the air at some point, and Jamison Holcomb will have to make a play. Going to take a shot right here, one-on-one. He's got Council Allen, foot in bounds. The reception is made at the 44. Little play action fake right here. Holcomb winding up, has a man deep across the middle. It's caught. 10-5. Allen stays on his feet. Tackled from behind right at the 2-yard line. Corey Reddick in the game. They'll hand it to him. Right side driving. End zone touchdown. Corey Reddick plows over a defender and stretches the ball across the goal line for 6. Claps the hands right here. Going to keep the ball on the ground, trying to turn the corner, but won't get there, though. A nice job
on both your possessions in the 4th quarter.
Colvin, the tight end, going to swing this one out right here, though, to Nelson, who just fell down. He was trying to make one too many moves there to the game today. 21 of 23. And now on the ground trying to turn the corner. Jenkins again driving towards the end zone, and he's in. So Braden Jenkins kept those legs driving, and by the nose of the football, able to get it across the goal line. So Spencer Arsenault starting to pick things up with his legs a lot right here, too. Let's see if the Blazers have an answer. Trying to turn the corner. And that's Braden Jenkins, who will just step out of bounds after down play. The Blazers bring pressure. Arsenault back, looking to throw, has time, steps up in the pocket, fires. That one too tall. for the intended target. Austin McCready needing a big boomer right here. And he definitely puts his foot into one, and boy, fair catch signal right here by Allen, who bobbles the football, and it's picked up. It's picked up by the Tigers. Allen over his shoulder bobbles the football with as much time that's left. Arsenault going to throw one right here. Quick slant, touchdown. Quick strike, Nelson with the slant, and Arsenault put it right on the money. Twins to both sides of the formation right here. Top and bottom of your screen, and now they'll break Pascal out. Going to throw it across the middle. They've got a man complete, and that is Council Allen. Pressure, Holcomb. One-on-one, has got a man there. Somehow Council Allen took that ball out of the air and away from a DB. How in the world did he do that?
Getting held as he caught that ball.
Gonna swing this one out right here, double pass. Council Allen, man wide open. That's Wandu, the tight end. He's gonna score. Joel Wandu on the receiving end of a Council Allen touchdown pass. So the Tigers again on the move right here. Braden Jenkins on the ground, pounds his way forward, ball loose momentarily. The clock was rolling, but outside of 5 minutes, you do get the clock rolling on out-of-bounds plays sometimes. But here we go. Arsenault again under pressure this time, just looking to do something, but just spins down right at the 32s.
Back-to-back, great catches by both teams.
On the ground right here, again right into a Blazer defender. They can't tackle Tyler Smith, and he's going to reach the end zone. How about that run? A powerful, explosive run. And now here we are on Military and First Responders Appreciation Day in Valdosta. Over the middle. A lot of running room here, 35-40. Stays on his feet up across the 40-yard line, and drives this quarter have been very, very short. This one going to take a little bit of a bounce right here. They're going to let it roll on down, and I wouldn't even touch it.
Don't even touch it.
I was going to say let all that clock roll down there as much as you can. Perhaps the final play right here before the 2-minute timeout. Arsenault going to take the snap. He's going to look, going to fire. He's got a man open. He's going to kind of lose his footing. Oh, ball fell out. The ball fell out of his hands, and it is being signaled a touchdown. It is being signaled a Blazer touchdown. Dallas Robertson. All right. A lot of things that got to play out here. And here is Ethan Edens, though, who will start things off with a low kick. That ball squibbed, and it's going to be recovered by the Blazers. I'm not even sure if that was intentional, but it is Valdosta State football, and now that will all but seal it. 45-35, the final in this ball game. Blazers again now at 4-4, but more importantly 1-0 in conference play. Coach, what was your message to the team in the locker room? It had to be a pretty good atmosphere after that one.
Yeah, they were excited. Every time that we had to make a big play, we did, and that was the thing that I was most pleased with. That those momentum shifts when they happened throughout the game, we made the big plays that we needed to win the game.
Here we go. Graham Craig again victorious. Blazers victorious. It's a winning week in Valdosta, and we appreciate you guys being with us right here. We're going to go ahead and take a quick timeout. When we return, our player spotlight, we will sit down with a couple of the players that made an impact on the ball game this week, and then later on we'll sit back down with Coach Craig as we talk about next week's matchup against Delta State and our coach's question of the week. All that and more straight ahead. Stay with us.
Synovus is the bank that helps you step up to the plate for your big league dreams. Get there with Synovus.
I'm just being myself, cool as can be. When I'm being myself, you wish you were me. It's so easy. Get out your own way. Easy peasy, breezy, none. What's the point if it ain't no fun? I don't.
Hey Hey Blazer fans, Williams Hotel Group is South Georgia's hospitality headquarters with 8 award-winning hotels in Valdosta. Williams Hotel Group has everything to meet your lodging, event, and meeting space needs. Come see us at any one of our conveniently located properties off I-75, exits 16 and 18, or visit us at williamshotelgroup.com. And as always, go Blazers!
Welcome back to the Graham Craig Show. Again, I'm your host, Dave Garner. Thanks for being with us right here on a sunny, gorgeous afternoon at Bazemore Hyder Stadium in Valdosta. The Blazers victorious over West Alabama in their opening conference game of the year. And we transition now to our player spotlight. We have with us a big dude, man. You're, what, about 340, I think?
I wish.
You're not that big?
Nah.
I think that's what they got you on the roster.
Yeah.
So they might be fudging a little bit there. But you're still every bit of a big guy, though. But Kenley-Mary Asse joining us right here on the player spotlight. We had to give some O-line some love this week. Appreciate you being with us, man. Talk about this like marathon of a game. It was a wild fourth quarter. You and I were joking around. Things could have, gone a lot of different ways, but you guys kept your composure. You pushed through. You held it together. You guys got the big win.
For sure. So we knew coming into this game that football is a game of inches, and at the end of the day, this game comes down to technique, alignment, and assignment.
Yeah.
And we just found a way to do that better today. And when we went into halftime, actually, we made a big note that this is a football team that likes to stick around.
Right.
And we had to, make sure we applied pressure and continue going the whole game.
Sure. They had done that the last couple of weeks, and some of the ball games they'd come up short. We knew that they had it in them certainly to come back like they did in that fourth quarter, but you guys made enough plays. Talk about O-line today and what you guys were able to achieve, being able to give Jamison time to throw the football and get some of those big chunk plays downfield.
For sure. Just being, like I said, assignment, technique and assignment. We knew, we had the key into our details. And to protect J-Mo, that's just, O-line is pretty simple when you play. It's just being in the right spot at the right time. And we knew small details to get us, in the right positions to be able to finish the game.
Yeah, you got a deep running back room. And so you guys as road graders up front are able to open up those holes. And a lot of times, like we saw on that 80-yard touchdown run from Eric today, I mean, you guys create that hole, and then typically he's just got to make one guy miss right, and he's off to the races. So talk about your role in the run block game and how that looks for you guys and being able to run the football effectively.
We try to make it an emphasis to just be maulers, because at the end of the day, you have to move the person against you against his will.
Right.
So if we're able to do that, then we just get a jump. And at that point, it's just who has the most enthusiasm, who has the most energy, who wants it more.
Sure.
And we know that in the run game, to run the ball, you have to want it more, and we just did that today.
Right. It was kind of a slow start to the season, but you guys seem to be every week kind of playing with more and more confidence, and we're kind of seeing that play out
put it together
over the last couple of weeks. So why is that? What have you guys found now that all of a sudden seems to be clicking for this team?
I wouldn't even say we found anything. Like I said, just focusing on small details throughout the week, like taking care of our preparation, knowing that preparation is good, and to finish out and win games, we know that preparation has to be what it needs to be. So we're just keying in the small details, doing everything right. Like if we know in practice that something's not good enough, we'll redo it to make sure we get good looks and stuff like that.
There we go. You've got a fan club here. I mean, you got a lot of folks cheering for you, and everything. We love to see that, of course. You bring an interesting perspective because you've been with this program for a while now. You've had 3 different, I guess, head coaches technically over your time here. Talk about the changes in the program and where you see yourself now, and what you're looking forward to in the future.
To be honest, I wouldn't even say as much change, because Blazer football is always going to be Blazer football.
Right.
We'll cut on the tape and watch games from 4 or 5 years ago and be like, this is the standard. And we're big on protecting the standard. And the past couple of weeks, we've tried to key into that ever since the bye week and make sure we're trying to protect the standard and do what we need to do. So I'm glad that we're able to get something out of it.
There you go. Well, we appreciate you being with us right here. Great game today. Giving that O-line love, man. You keep doing your thing, and we appreciate you.
For sure.
All right, Kenley-Mary Asse joining us right here as part of this week's Player Spotlight. Now we go defense right here. Again, we appreciate you guys being with us. The player spotlight this week, we have with us one of the stars of the ball game this week against West Alabama, Dallas Robinson. Dallas, thanks for being with us. Congratulations on a big win. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, man, that last play, right? That scoop. Talk a little bit about that play, because it was kind of on the opposite side of where we were. Yeah. It was a lot of commotion. We didn't know exactly what was going on, but you guys punched the football out. You get the fumble return to ice the ball game. Man, what was that like?
So earlier in the game, I had another scoop and score for a touchdown. Honestly, it's just us swarming to the ball, running to the ball. I was a curl flat defender. I really should have had a pick 6, but that was a great play by JB, Josh Brown. He punched it out. I was there. picked it up, iced the game.
There you go. Josh, of course, had an interception early in the ball game, too. You've been one of those guys, a leader in the back end of this defense. I know you'd missed a little bit of time here and there. You know, Liberian came in. But you're definitely one of those guys. It's a different defense when you're in there, and that talks a lot about your leadership. Talk about this group of DBs as a unit and what you guys have been able to accomplish this year.
Well, I feel like we're all together. So once, like you said, when Lab got in the game, I mean, he actually played great. He should have had a pick 6 that game.
Right.
We hang out together, we eat together, we just all get together. So, and our group slogan is like us. So if we're us, nobody can stop us.
Right. I like it. I like it a lot. You guys seem like a tight family.
We are.
Very group. Defensively today, you guys, again, it was a wild fourth quarter, taking on West Alabama. First conference game, though, but coming off a game where you guys played so well the previous week against North Greenville. Right. Seems like this defensive unit in particular, I said this to Kenley about the offense, but you guys, too, playing with more confidence, it seems like each and every week.
Correct.
Right. Talk about that, and why is that? Is there something that's clicking more than there was maybe, or what's going on?
I mean, no, we just, like I said, we had to get together. We just, once we learned to play for one another, everything started clicking, like you said. So on offense and defense, and even special teams, like last game, we had a freshman take it for 95 yards. So once we learned to play together, we're unstoppable.
Right. I love it. I love the mentality right there. You guys definitely playing together, showing up, Blazer football week in and week out. More importantly, though, you guys are 1-0 in the conference, right? So at the end of the day, it's those conference games that really count. We talk about that. You've got 2 more games coming up next week, right back here against Delta State.
Correct.
What do you look for in that one, and what kind of mentality do you guys feel like you have to carry over into that one?
I feel like if we play like we played the first half, but we finished the game, over with.
Right. I like that mentality. Yeah, definitely. What is the, I guess, the goal for you guys as a secondary coming into each and every game? How many takeaways you guys try to come up with? I mean, do y'all kind of set numbers like that? Y'all have goals like that?
If we get 3 turnovers, our coach's wife, she makes us like brownies and cookies.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
And if we get more than 3, she cooks us a full-course meal.
Man,
so
I knew there was something else going on there. I knew something going on there, man. Blazers have been getting turnovers like crazy the last couple of weeks. A couple of weeks ago, again, Valdosta State -8 in turnover ratio. The last 2 weeks, guys have been on the plus side of turnovers.
Right.
So it goes to say, so it must be those brownies. Now I know the secret. Now I know what's going on. But you guys are playing well. Congratulations again on another great game. Let's talk a little bit. I know that you're kind of getting, senior, you're getting towards the end, I guess, of your run. What's beyond football? What's beyond Valdosta State for you?
I don't know if y'all watched the past show, but I had the same show when we played John C. Smith.
Yeah.
And like I just said, I'll just continue to graduate. And then honestly, just work with my mom and her public speaking.
There we go. I like it. You've got a career as a broadcaster, as a speaker, if you want one day. So definitely can see that. Lastly, what is your favorite part about playing football? I mean, what is it that fires you up about coming out here on the weekends and meeting with these guys?
I mean, it's a family. Like, you never know the last time you're ever going to step foot on the field, if it's practice, a game.
Right.
Some of these boys, might be at your wedding. You never know. So that's the favorite thing I like about it.
I love your perspective. Life is a lot about perspective and seeing beyond being in the moment. And so I love that, talking about these are guys that you may be lifelong friends with, things like that. So that's awesome. Congratulations, Dallas. Again, Dallas Robinson, safety, joining us right here. His play sealing the deal in the ball game, but had a lot of other great plays throughout the week and throughout the season. We look forward to seeing more out of you, man. Just keep rolling.
Yes, sir.
All right. Again, Dallas Robinson joining us right here on this week's Player Spotlight. We're going to go ahead and take a timeout. When we return, we'll sit back down with Coach Craig and talk about this week's matchup against Delta State and our coach's question of the week. All that and more straight ahead. Stay with us.
Come for the small town feel. Stay for the big adventures. In Valdosta, adventures await around every corner. Every day brings unique experiences and unexpected thrills, creating memories worth staying for. Where small-town charm meets big-time experiences. Valdosta. Stick around for the memories.
At Chick-fil-A St. Augustine Road, we pride ourselves on providing the freshest, most quality food with the highest tier of customer service. Whether you're picking up in our speedy drive-thru, enjoying a meal in our inviting dining room, or having your food delivered to your home, office, or venue, our goal is to provide you with the most exceptional food and service. We're working better together to serve our guests and community at the highest level. We look forward to seeing you.
This is a college commercial, but not like those college commercials. These are real students, real professors offering real help, real roommates. That's her real dog. Those are real national champions.
Why don't you just turn around and hug your brother?
That's her real brother. That really happened. These are real students, making their families really, really proud. So, in a world of AI and stock footage, here's something that's all real. Valdosta State University.
Back here with the Graham Craig Coaches Show. Again, I'm Dave Garner. Thanks for being with us right here. And again, all smiles after a big win. Valdosta State, again, 45-35 over West Alabama as we sit back down with Coach Craig. We want to thank our players for being part of the player spotlight this week. Talking to, of course, Dallas Robinson and Kenley-Mary Asse. They're giving the O-line a little bit of love this week. And speaking of, I mean, those guys played well. They held up. Seems like they're really giving Jamison time to throw the football, which is leading to his confidence.
For sure. That's a really good defensive front we just played against. Really good interior players, some really good pass rushers on the edge, and what's great to have Kenley back, both as a player and the leader that he is, and thought that group overall played well and gave us enough time to throw it back there, and also got the run game going when we needed to.
Yeah. Before we talk about Delta State, let's talk a little bit about the question of the week. It's time for that portion of the program right here. Again, this is the part of the show where you guys can ask Coach anything you want to. And our question this week comes from Tom from right here in Valdosta. And Tom was asking about the replay system. It's kind of appropriate considering that there were one or two here today. But Tom wants to know how many challenges do you get and how does the replay system work from a coaching standpoint for you guys during a game?
Yeah, so just speaking on this game, we challenged the fumble by the quarterback right there before the half. We recovered it. They ruled him initially down, and right there we challenged it, was able to have a successful challenge there and get the turnover right there before the half. And since that was successful, we are able to challenge again for that, have the one challenge, and also you don't have to use a timeout. And then in the second half, we talked about them using theirs. On the punt there.
Yep.
He used his, was unsuccessful, so you lose a timeout and lose your challenge there.
Right, and that timeout came back to bite them because they didn't have one later in the game when they could have used that there. So again, Tom, great question. Thank you for the question right there. If you have a question for Coach Craig that you'd like to see answered right here on a future edition of the program, email us at asktheblazers@gmail.com. Again, asktheblazers@gmail.com, and we'll get that question answered for you right here on a future episode of the show. Again, Coach, let's turn the page now and talk about the next conference opponent. West Alabama's already went through all three of their remaining teams, so they're non-conference the rest of the way. You guys were just getting started. You started with a win. You're 1-0 in the conference. Now you got a very good Delta State team coming to town next week. What do you look for in that one?
Yeah, watched a lot of them throughout the season just with common opponents, and really explosive offense, a really good receiving core, really good defense to go along with it. So we're going to have another tough challenge. Obviously, our conference is tough every week, so another tough challenge coming to town this week.
Of course, West Florida in the final week, but we'll talk about that one later on because it's 1-0 1 week at a time, right?
Correct.
I guess that's the mentality right there. Delta State, obviously a team that Valdosta State, of course, familiar with, a lot of familiarity there. Came in, I think, ranked 17th this week. They were taking on, of course, West Florida, the other conference game going on this week. So we'll have to see how everything kind of washes out, but it'll be a lot of fun. Join us next week right here. Of course, I will have the Coaches Show again. We'll sit back down, talk about that matchup. With it being a home game next week, you can always catch us, of course, Blazer Sports Media on YouTube, of course, this show. And we appreciate you guys being with us. Also, Blazer Radio. You can catch Wade and Scott over there as well for the road games. Of course, Wade comes in and does the show. We were joking around about Wade, and I got to say it. I know sometimes he'll call out people. He gets he gets a little funny sometimes about it, and really seems to enjoy doing the show. I love seeing him do the show because he cracks me up.
Wade's great.
He's just a trip. But I love working with Wade. But I'm having a lot of fun with you too here. And of course, selfishly, last week, this week, and of course next week, I'll get to sit down with you, and hopefully we'll be talking about another win, right?
Yes, sir.
There we go. Well, congratulations, Coach. Once again, thanks for being with us right here. And any other message for Blazer Nation as far as coming out next week and supporting you guys?
Yeah, just excited about next week's game. It's a big one for us, and would love to have a big crowd out here to support us.
There you go. All right, that's going to wrap things up for this week's episode, a victorious episode of the Graham Craig Show. I want to thank all of our sponsors, of course, for making it happen. I want to thank you, our viewers, for tuning in each and every week. And, of course, I want to remind you, you can catch the show each and every week right here as part of Blazer Sports Media. Once again, that final score this week, Valdosta State a winner 45-35 over West Alabama, and the Blazers are now 1-0 in the conference. That's going to wrap things up. We'll see you next time, and until next time, go Blazers, right?
Go Blazers.
Again, this has been the Graham Craig Show. Thank you.